Welcome back. It is the season for all the great gatherings, graduations, weddings, family reunions. So we have Amanda Manholt joining us to talk about some of the great makeup tips that you have to keep in mind when you want to look your best for all these important occasions.
Yeah, you know what, this really is the time of year, and it isn't just the bride, it isn't just the graduate. Oftentimes it's mom or grandma, and they know that they're all going to be together and they're going to have that special photo taken, and they want to just look that little bit better.
Yeah, so we've got all kinds of products today on the table. Where do you want to start?
Well, this was a lot of fun for me because I basically just want to talk about a lot of the things, the questions that I get at the store, and we'll just start from the beginning. So first things first, I get a lot of ladies coming in and they want to feel better and look better. So the first thing we'll talk about is setting the stage. So creating a perfect base for your makeup. So here I'm talking about tinted moisturizers, liquid foundations, powder foundations. But before they do any of that, I always ask what they're doing at home for skincare. And I'm actually surprised the number of women that say they don't use moisturizer.
Really?
I think I've been using a moisturizer since I was, I don't know, 17 or 18.
I know, especially in this climate. It's just so dry here. You're really doing yourself a disservice not to be moisturizing.
And you know what? I don't care if it's a $10 moisturizer or a $200 moisturizer. If it works for you, then use it.
Yes.
And a lot of times people, I think, don't use them because they've had ones in the past that are too heavy, they feel thick, they feel greasy.
Sure.
Really, textures have come a long, long way.
There's so many options too.
Totally. So moisturizer doesn't necessarily mean heavy or greasy.
Yeah.
Okay, but what it will do is hydrate and soften the surface of the skin, which then when you apply your makeup will make it go on that much smoother and look that much better.
Okay.
The other thing that's fantastic that really everybody should think about doing is using an exfoliant of some sort. So
how many days a week should a woman exfoliate before you're starting to take off more layers than you want to?
That's a really good question. I generally say, 2 to 3 times a week, depending on what you're using. You want to use something that has nice round beads, not those jagged bits of crushed up walnut shells, because those are actually in my winter tires for traction.
Really?
True story. I know, I was like,
no walnut shells.
When he told me that, I was like, I'm going to make a mental note of that.
Yeah, wow.
The round beads are better. Now, there has been a lot of press about these beads because they've been made of, I think, polyethylene or little bits of plastic.
Yes.
So what's happening is as we use these scrubs, it gets into our water system and it's actually hurting our ecosystem. So a lot of companies are going to things that are biodegradable, thankfully.
Yes.
So that is, this brand new scrub from Vichy is actually jojoba. Jojoba will do a beautiful job. Again, it's a perfectly round spherical bead, will lovely exfoliate your skin, but it will not hurt the fish.
Okay, good.
Biotherm is another one. They've just launched one and their base is micronized pumice.
Okay. Is it true though when you exfoliate you shouldn't get too close to this area?
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Because that's such a tender area.
The skin around the eyes is about 5 times thinner than the skin on the rest of our face. So that's why it's the first to show age.
Okay.
It also is never not moving. And it has no oil glands. So,
okay, disturbing and informational.
I know. It's the nerd in me. I can't fight it.
No,
Anyways,
I love it. I love it.
So we want to exfoliate. What I recommend, leave it in the shower when you've got conditioner in your hair and you're kind of waiting.
Okay.
Just take about the size of a pea, gently massage it around the skin, rinse your hair, rinse your face, you're done.
Okay.
And you'll know when you need to do it again. I tend to feel it on my chin when I'm due.
Yeah,
moisturize. Anyway, so I've said my little bit about moisturizing and exfoliating. Now we're on to picking a base.
Okay.
One of the things I hear a lot is women will say, I need some color. I want something to make me look darker. Well, no, you don't. So your foundation is really to even out your complexion. So just like a painter would paint on a clean, perfectly white canvas, you could do the most magnificent eye makeup, but if your skin is blotchy and uneven, it's not really gonna, it isn't gonna pop.
And nobody wants to have this going on where,
line.
Look at that nice tan and it's just so not.
We saw a lot of that back in high school, I remember.
Yeah, those days should be over.
They should be over, but sadly they're not. So sometimes I still see that. So if you want to get color, so if you want to be tanned, then you want to look at a bronzer. If you feel sallow or yellow, I get a lot of ladies that want a pink foundation. Well, if you already have a yellow undertone, guess what? You're going to have a gray face. So keep in mind, your face is from your forehead to your chest.
Okay.
And we want to be one color all the way down, no lollipops.
Yeah.
You know, where you got like one color here and one color here.
That's a
we don't like that.
Good analogy.
So bringing me to undertone, actually, if we can look at your wrist and mine, I don't know if I can, where we are to get a good shot of the inside of our wrists. Now, clearly, you are more of the bronze goddess. So you have that nice gold undertone. That you would be a warm undertone. So you'll notice your veins almost look a bit green, whereas mine are, well, I'm very pale. Mine are pink. My skin is pink, it's cool, and my veins almost look blue. So when you're looking at foundation, it isn't just about, is it too light, is it too dark? It's also about, is it gold? Is it cool or is it neutral? So these ones here, we have, I just brought these as an example. This is L'Oreal, and they do a really good job with this true match line. Yep, they're perfect. So you can see we've got the cool, the neutral, and the warm.
Okay. So just important to make sure you get somebody to sort of check and make sure you're matching
and you know what?
things
That's
up.
what we're here for. So you come in, we can swatch on your jaw. People test their foundation on their hand all the time, which is great if you wore it on your hand, but you don't.
Yeah, that's right.
So you want to be testing it here on the jaw, and you want to be testing it, again, between the face and the neck, so that you're all sort of one seamless color. When people, I see this a lot in the store, they swatch it and then they rub it in. And then everything looks great until you put it on your whole face. You get in the car, you look in the rearview mirror and you go, right?
Yes.
So that's why we do the 3 stripes. We let it dry because it will oxidize slightly. And the one that you can't see is the one you want.
That's the one you want.
Yeah.
We have about 30 seconds until we go to a break.
Gosh, I could talk all day.
I know, and I love it.
Yeah, so then basically then we're looking at differences in coverage. So you have tinted moisturizers, which are now commonly known as BB creams, as opposed to a liquid foundation or a powder foundation. And again, that's just preference.
Okay, depending on what you want to do.
Yeah.
We will take a quick break. Information is on the screen. All of these great products, of course, available down at London Drugs in Lansdowne Village, londondrugs.com. We're back in 2 minutes. Stay with us. Welcome back. We are still with Amanda Manholt, cosmetics manager at London Drugs. We're checking out some fabulous little tips and tricks to good makeup application.
I could be here for an hour.
I
don't
know
if your guests would like that, but I'd have fun.
It is fun.
Next, I want to talk about, again, we were talking about bringing color to the complexion. So now we've got you perfectly even. There's not red blotchy. You've got a lovely canvas for your makeup. Bronzer. I see this done really interestingly from time to time. So too dark is the first thing that a lot of people do. So really your bronzer should only be 1 to 2 shades darker than your natural skin tone.
Okay.
If you have the kind of skin like yours that can tan, it's really easy. There's a number of bronzers to choose from. You can choose either matte bronzers, which are more natural, great for contouring. Even men use them. Or shimmery bronzers, so if you just want to have that little bit of a sparkle. If you are very fair-skinned, it's really hard to use a bronzer and not look like an Oompa Loompa. You know, remember on Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Yeah, we've all seen it.
Yeah.
So what you want to look for is something that is very pink in color. So if I lift these two,
here we go.
You will see, hopefully the camera's picking that up.
Yeah, you can see that one's a little bit more pink. This one?
Yeah, so if you're looking at 2 of them, you want one that almost looks pink.
Right.
If you're very, very fair. Again, we're talking 1 to 2 shades darker than your own skin tone.
Okay.
In something with a shimmery effect, I looked all through the department to find one, and I actually ended up with my very favorite blush, and I use this as a bronzer on people that are fair. This is one from Lancôme called Mille Glace. It's a beautiful shade, and it's got that slight pinky undertone, but still a little bit darker than your own skin.
So just moderation is the key with this stuff,
Yeah,
right?
you just have to be careful. Makeup's a really funny thing. You don't have to go too far out of the realm to get it real wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes less is more, truly.
Sometimes less is more.
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
we're moving on to your favorite.
yeah, eyebrows. I could talk about eyebrows for a week. It's funny, I'll have a lot of lovely ladies come in and they've got a special event and they want eyeshadow, but yet they have gray eyebrows that you can't see and they don't wear any mascara. And really, then all you see is blue eyeshadow or whatever it is you're applying. So really, I always say, well, what about your eyebrows? Have you ever thought about touching them up? Huge, huge impact. It's one of the smallest, most subtle changes you can do on someone, but it is definitely the most noticeable. So definitely pay attention to your brows. You want to tweeze away any of the strays, any that look like they're in a different postal code. And if you need help with that, you can always come in and we'll help you through it. If you really don't know what you're doing, there are stencils. This is from a company that we carry that does just brows. This is called Cella. They're out of Los Angeles, and they have some great kits. What I love about this, I put the tantalizing taupe in the front. It's my absolute favorite because it's pretty much universal. One of the things we find with eyebrow pencils is they pull a lot of red. So any of these women that have gray hair or blonde, but they're more of an ashy blonde, a lot of times those blonde pencils look red.
Okay.
So amazing, that tantalizing taupe. I could pretty much use it on anybody.
Fantastic.
Love it, love it. And then there's, of course, powders as well. So there's a myriad of options. So now that we've got the brows perfectly defined, they're like the frame to your face, we want to make sure that we define the lash line. And we can do that just by simply using an eyeliner. These I love are from Cargo. They're the swimmables. They're waterproof. They glide on, they slide on, and they don't end up all over your eyelid. So I know a lot of ladies have problems with transference or they don't stay put. So those are great. If you want to play with color, why not use your liner? So on your eyes, which are green and gorgeous, I would do this plum shade. because they're opposite on the color wheel, and it will really make your eyes pop.
I've never used plum on my side.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, we'll get you one of those.
We
have to do that. So again, liner. You want to do more of a line on the top, softer on the bottom. Generally is more the trend now, and it's also a little bit more uplifting because we want things up.
We want things up.
Up is good.
Up is good.
Yeah, so liner is key. Maybe not so much all the eyeshadow. If you like eyeshadow, great, add it in there, but really it's more important to have that lash line defined. And then that brings me to everybody's favorite, which is mascara down here.
Those are nice looking mascara tubes, first of all.
This is, I have to say, these are like the Cadillacs of mascara. This is Lancome. They're two pillars, Hypnos and Defenicils. I love them. And really, the biggest thing with eye mascara is I always ask people, do they find their lashes are thin or sparse?
Right.
Or do they have lots of lashes, but they're long and skinny? They're two different customers. It's like boxers and briefs.
Okay.
Okay, so
Good to know.
if you have short, sparse eyelashes, the last thing you want is a giant brush that loads up the product because it'll take those 6 hairs and stick them into one.
Yeah.
So Defenicils is beautiful for that. This one here really separates and defines, doesn't clump your lashes together. Amazing.
Brown versus black.
Okay, this is just a personal opinion. I think unless you are a porcelain-skinned redhead, wear black.
Okay.
Especially if you wear glasses, because again, what you're trying to do is get the definition to the eye.
Okay.
That's what the liner mascara does. That's what the brow does.
Okay.
And always curl your lashes before you put your mascara on.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, I've seen that go awry too.
And people will
Chop off their eyelashes.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, so curl before application.
Yeah.
Good to know. Is there something else you want to mention about one of these?
The other one is Hypnos. So these, I would say, these are their two pillars, and these are really like the Cadillac mascara. Now, Hypnos is for the other clients. So this, I love Hypnos. I have long lashes, but my hair is very fine on my head, and it's also fine on my eyelashes. This one, you can build it up to 6 times. It does not clump. It is beautiful, and it's going to give you that full artificial kind of lash look.
Nice. Great options here today, Amanda. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for letting me do this. This was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
If you have any questions, you can head down to London Drugs. So many great products you guys have. You can come down and check them out, ask Amanda for some information or some advice. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
You are very welcome. We're back in 2 minutes. Stay with us.